And welcome back to the Rocket League OCE Championship for League Play 4. I'm sorry, it was a 3-minute break, so you got something a little special on the side. This is Courier Lord, this is Yummy Cheese Man. I am Hysterics, and it is a pleasure to bring you the next series, which has so much waiting in League Play. Courier, it's SYF versus Avant Gaming.
Yeah, this is an exciting time. Have a pen. Free pen for you, right?
I didn't catch that one, so here, have fun. This is a big matchup.
Yeah, this is an important one. For SYF, this is their opportunity to kind of lock themselves into top 4. And Avant, this is a bit of a do-or-die situation.
Well, both of them are do-or-die. If you lose this match, you're out, in essence. If you lose this match, you go to 4 losses. So both of these teams need to win every single series they play from here. And, you know, it's not looking good. Well, it's not looking good for Avant, considering how strong SYF are coming in. SYF.
And especially when you look at SYF as well, going forward, they have that win against Tainted Minds, as in a game win, not a match win. No one beats Tainted Minds. And then similarly...
Well, we haven't gotten to week 5 yet.
Not yet.
Sorry.
Hey, even then, they have a fair chance.
Oh, they have. Look, let's not get there. We're getting off track. I mean, you threw pens at me first, and now we're talking about Tainted Minds. SYF Gaming after that, I think confidence will be blooming for them, as well as for the people at home, that Avant, especially in previous weeks, aren't performing maybe as we expected to them.
Both of these teams did take down Order, though. It's their big showing for each of them, but SYF, I think, have looked better across the competition. We've talked a lot about Vive the entire time to see if he fit in, and honestly, I think he has. Now I'm looking at Snarf and Bango and saying, why aren't you being as good as you are meant to be? Why aren't you being the chosen ones that came back from retirement to play here? Because they're not picking up the pace.
Yeah, because Snarf has been bottom of the scoreboard in every single game they've won except for one last week. Yeah. And when you have a rookie on the team, you expect for him to be kind of
not building the dynamic around Vive making his dynamic fit with the rest of the team.
And
right?
Snarf is just not being able to keep up with the pace of the current play. He has that opportunity. I know that he can play faster, so it's whether he can. And against SYF, that play style from Avant, where you sit back and you play it slow and you go for those long field passes, you've got Requiem, you've got Deca, and you've got Delusion all looking for intercepts, all looking for dunks. They're going to shut that slow play down.
And we know their habits are in fine form because that's how they took so many games off Order.
Yeah, the confidence again out of SYF. They will take those plays, especially after what we saw against Order. Both teams have won against this team. 3-1s. Yummy Cheese Man, who will win this matchup?
This is going to be toxic to say. SYF 3-0. Straight over Avant.
But you went SYF over Order, so that's completely justified.
Yeah, I'm I guess a big SYF fan. I'm a little bit iffy on that first choice, but it worked out well. This one, I think I'm much more confident in SYF winning.
Yeah, I'm going to go SYF as well. Okay. I don't think Avant have done anything to crazily impress me, and off the back of that win, that's an all the way.
I think when you look at SYF and their performance over the past couple of weeks, you start thinking that this is a team that can make top 4 and win this series. SYF, well, you thought it was going to be Avant. No.
Didn't you predict Avant during the week, though?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh, you predicted them over Ground Zero.
No, you're just thinking I predicted Syrix. No, I didn't actually predict Legacy, but they're not in this team anymore, so it doesn't matter. At the moment, SYF are feeling the burn of success. And I'm confident that against Avant, they will take another win.
I reckon that's pretty much on board with the rest of us, so fair game. Fair game.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. That's all I asked for. Avant Gaming, SYF Gaming. Our second match of the day begins now. Again, so many big implications, applications, I'm not sure why, but SYF with this win, they could make top 4. Avant Gaming, if they lose this, they could be out. And similarly, with a win, this could start their journey.
And with SYF really wanting to knuckle down that top 4 finish, the early win before and the aggressive start to this game is going to be a good
That was a really good touch on the defender there from Avant Gaming. That was a goal by SYF, but already the big start. And SYF Gaming, we said they were going to take those challenges, and Avant Gaming slower to the ball, a bit more time on their side, but SYF might not let them have it.
And when you're going up against teams that do have a better pace than you, and you're also not going to be aggressive and try to challenge them, you set yourself up for a situation where all of the control and all the pressure will be coming from SYF.
And with SYF's control in the previous game, the previous match, we can see how they take grasp of their enemy. The steal away by Delusion, forcing Bango up for the defense. Delusion with the center pass, Requiem is there. The light shot Snarf saves it up, but it's not quite out of there yet, is it, Courier? It is not.
No, you got to at least hope that if you're going to make the connection, you got to get the ball out. And with your clears that don't even break it to the halfway point, you're just giving more opportunities to SYF to come back right at you.
They stick around the midfield, they get the clear away, denied by Snarf. The aggression from Vive, and it is the rookie who scores first.
Delusion was sitting there waiting, but Vive somehow managed to find the hole in the defense by getting it right behind him. Delusion too aggressive and not camping that rear post long enough.
I mean, honestly, the name is so suitable. He vibes with Avant Gaming's roster. He brings the action. And in week 4, it's so important. That first goal leads them to a good start.
The old Viva la Vida.
Ah, yes. Kuriai speaks Spanish, of course. 3 minutes 30 left remaining in game 1. And Avant Gaming back on that attack. Snarf pushing his way up. Vive back on the defense now. An interesting moment as Bango rolls it under. Delusion takes a shot, but Bango's just taking the ball himself. Requiem goes up, but what's going to happen from here as Snarf comes back in? Vive jumping up for the ball, and AV back in a position of power.
Another opportunity there for Avant to have passed back instead, passing forward again, giving SYF the control. But the fact they have that one goal lead,
Courier
won't matter because they stole one back.
I want you to put this in the back of your mind. When Delusion plays well, he plays damn well. That was a fantastic pass to Decker. They beat out 2 defenders. This is the SYF that beat Order convincingly as well.
Yeah, having the communication helps too. Drawing out the defense there of Snarfnarf, who jumped up for it and then gets punished. That's an open goal there for Bango. Too quick for them to come through.
And then suddenly, as soon as the creative goal comes through from SYF, Avant Gaming just find this.
Yeah, beating up Decker too quickly there. The kickoff goals are strong.
Kickoff goals also hurt. SYF Gaming down 1. Avant making this game 1 a little bit more spicy than anticipated. Yummy predicted that 3-0. Avant Gaming trying to deny it right off the back foot.
Could be a day for upsets, Asterix.
Or maybe it's not. Dribble. Delusion right into Snarf. Requiem comes back in. It's wide again. The third member up, and Delusion just now has to pace with the ball. Let everyone recover from SYF. Clear back down. Snarf loses it. Deck up from the wing. As Vive comes back in. Defense still there for AV. They punch it up to Vive. He's following the ball. Boost picked up by Bango. Now the play continues. Decker with the save forward. Delusion in a good position to dribble this off the wall. Now himself. He gets it through. The pass is great. And it's Decker again.
That Decker Delusion combo is just tearing apart Avant. The fact that he didn't choose to go the whole way on his own, notices the opportunity for a pass, knowing that he's drawn out the defense, that right-hand side of the pitch, was a great maneuver and a great show of teamwork.
Good looking play from the double Ds there. 2-2, 2 minutes 30 remaining. We've got a tied game.
It's incredibly tight. Now it's up to Avant to try adapt before another huge punish comes out of SYF.
And again, Snarf, he'll get his savior medal, but still in front of goal. SYF, they're starting to punish Avant in that defense. Delusion comes back around in the defense themselves now. Bango hits it up, but Decker's already there. This bounces off the roof. Vive actually not going to commit to it just yet. Waits for the bounce, and it's Decker who's run out of boost. Delusion who moves forward and left up to Requiem, who we said has had a better day today.
Yeah, and Snarf is playing quite defensively, and it has shored themselves up against some of that aggression, but unfortunately it won't be enough. We need to see him coming forward and utilizing some shots.
Oh, Vive just sneaks that one through, and it was Snarf again.
And that's what we need to see the coming out of them. We need to have that teamwork. He is becoming involved inside the rotation for the 3-man play, enabling to get these goals. We need to see more of that coming out of him.
Unfortunate from Requiem, but Avant again. This is a very different series, Courier.
Yeah, quite a game of ping pong, back and forth. And with only 3 minutes passed and 5 goals, it could be anyone's.
Decker, he'll find it. He'll clear it away. SYF running out of time, but only that 1 goal. Everything could change in the matter of seconds. Requiem comes forward. Bango now, not a clear. Vive as well, not the ideal touch. Delusion just runs over Requiem for a second. Avant Gaming taking full opportunity of this. Decker misses. Requiem, another non-ideal touch. It stays in the goal square, and SYF make a couple of mistakes, and Avant can't find the goal from it.
Yeah, and Bango got past 2 players and then managed to bump out the last one. Thankfully, a player for them managed to rotate back in time, but Snarf nearly had that goal.
Still on the attack. Avant Gaming have missed 2 members. Snarf, the final, the touch to Vive. They'll play defensively for now, and Bango just hits it up. Playing with time. Waiting as much as possible with a minute left remaining. Requiem on the left wing. Vive coming up now as well. Loses out on the ball. Delusion. Great pass to Decker. It's going towards net. A little off the side, they say, but the hairdresser doesn't listen, and Delusion comes close.
Requiem going in there despite having no boost, aggressively trying to get that cheat. Unfortunately, notices it's not going to be there, but does manage to get some big bumps in the meantime.
40 seconds remaining. SYF getting close again. Down the ball is going. Bango with a bouncer of a touch. Great defense there from Avant Gaming. They continue it forward. Snarf the pass to Bango. The intercept. The collusion from Delusion. It's collision, by the way. Avant Gaming still around that corner with 25 seconds left.
And now as the pressure continues to grow and the match is still tight, SYF has one opportunity to try finish it out, or Avant will lock out the game.
It was Decker with a solid play. The intercept was there, but Bango outplays himself and gets another goal.
The day for upsets is starting strong with Avant. 14 seconds left on the clock, have taken this one down.
Well, 2 members on the defense, unfortunate from SYF Gaming, but what is fortunate, Courier, is Avant Gaming taking the lead in game 1.
It's a strong showing. It could be the full day for upsets. SYF, especially off that huge win before, now getting taken apart. Snarf being heavily involved as well, I think has been paramount to Avant's victory.
Bango. I think he's probably been the person we've seen the least so far. And with Avant Gaming now in such a comfortable position, anything is possible. SYF, this ball hit the ground, and game 1 over to AV.
Not having that dependency on Vive playing up and relying on him to be one of the players that is contributing so heavily. Now with Snarf stepping up, Bango kind of falling back into his usual self, I think has paid dividends for Avant.
When you looked at the matchups for both these teams, Courier, to take you off track a tiny bit, SYF Gaming, you said, okay, if they can beat Order, then most likely they can beat Avant. Then you look at Avant. If they can beat SYF, then most likely they can beat Ground Zero. But really today, we're not seeing the full moonlight. You know, it's midnight, you see it, and you go, I think there's more to that. And that's what Avant Gaming are right now. They're a moon.
They're the moon?
They're
Full?
The moon. The full moon.
Not going crescent with this one?
There's a cloud over it. That's why you can't see it. AV, the potential here is incredible. And Snarf, we were kind of talking ill of him on the desk before. I think I'll take something back.
No, he played well today, and I think that's definitely...
it's not over today. He's playing well so far.
So far today?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that, but...
No worries.
Yeah, so he's played well so far, comparing to how he was previously in the rest of the season. Last week being the change of pace, I guess you could say. It's good to see that he is contributing a lot more, because when you have a player who has that much experience, you have the expectation that when you put them onto a roster, they're going to perform at least at a certain level.
We have that same expectation of Bango, like the OG Jam player. Like, we saw Bango represent. And I think now there is that same opportunity that Avant Gaming create this other upset. That SYF Gaming were coming into this pedal in the metal. And if this starts to happen, if AV can manage to find this series, then League play next week is going to be an absolute bonanza. Now, you thought you loved the show, but you're going to love League play more. Game number 2, AV and SYF, with AV in a 1-0 lead, but is it going to hold? SYF with a couple of quick demos and a great clear by Vive.
Well, the double demo, unfortunately in defense, you don't get that free goal from it, but it does save you from all the pressure that was being built up.
But it's still coming forward, Corey. SYF Gaming have found the clear again. The shot angled towards net, but Bango lobs it forward. The demo again, and SYF, the aggression kicks off.
You can already tell what the strategy has been going into this game. 3 demos in not even 30 seconds. That's an incredible rate of destruction.
I mean, it was like 4 demos within the span of 15 seconds. SYF Gaming going through the wreckage to find that one.
So opening up the goal seems to be the opportunity that they need to be taking, and using the demos to be able to do that is the SYF new plan.
Well, out of the right wing, they've started themselves off on the front foot, and Requiem will kick it off into the left wing. Delusion misses the ball. Decker, the last defender, Vive himself, will go for the touch, but he loses it away eventually. And the rookie from AV started game 1 perfectly. We'll see if he can find game number 2 with the same impact.
That was a beautiful clear there by Snarf.
It definitely was. Reaction, though, from SYF on the defense. Vive not win that challenge over, but nor lose it. Snarf comes back over. Delusion waiting for the ball now. Bango helps pinch him over to the side. And SYF Gaming right in front of their net. The clear will come over eventually, over to that right wing. Snarf off the wall now. It's for Requiem. He's run out of boost, and it's up to Decker. Also run out of boost, so the attack probably going to stop here. But Decker hitting it off the wall. The recovery rate from SYF Gaming pretty quick. Waiting in the midfield for that response clear. And it's just Delusion who hangs back.
They should have enough boost, though, to get a good defense going.
Oh,
Unless that happens.
Oh, no! After you, Courier.
That's not what you want.
That's definitely not what you want. But Decker gave it to them anyway.
Yeah, we were in a situation there where SYF did manage to pick up boost all the way back, and Avant would have been left on half-empty tanks. So if they had the time, they could have saved it.
But AV come through, the commit works out, and 1 apiece in game number 2. On the defense again for SYF Gaming, things are not as precise as they were against the good games of Order.
Yeah, it could be another similar one to last game where we had lots of goals coming out in quick succession.
Oh, they're back on the attack. This is where they prosper the most. Delusion now against Vive, gets the demo. Requiem takes the shot, but saved away by Snarf.
That's why they're playing very close to each other. They're all three of them deciding to rotate to the same side to contest the ball.
Oh, Delusion. Sneaky play. Finds itself a double shot somehow. Requiem will come back up for the ball. Now they've run out of boost once again, so it'll be a save away by Vive. And Deca keeping it down their side of the field. Delusion with the pass, but doesn't receive it in time. Yeah,
Vive with the important boost pick up there, being able to take advantage of the fact the midfield boosts were both taken. Requiem really struggling to fill up his tank.
Deca, he'll get the response bounce there. It looks like boost seemingly being the problem here for SYF. The demo again from Requiem. With all these demos, you wonder why they're running out of boost, and you realize it's because you're getting 5 demos every 20 seconds. Vive with the pass here.
You're trading boost for cars, essentially.
Well, it makes perfect sense. Requiem has run out of boost once again, but the pass is good. Vive lobs it up in front of the goal square. We're not hitting angles from AV. They're going directly in the middle of net, but Deca almost steals that one through from Vive. A second touch missed by SYF. It's Delusion who lobs it up. And it's still one apiece with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, Avant are getting much faster up to the ball than we would previously expect. They typically struggle with that speed, and they're starting to raise it and match it to SYF, who are beating out order time and time again.
And Vive just gets a free hit on the backboard. The deny away. A second touch so good from SYF, but it's still on that backboard. Snuff sticks around, angles it towards Requiem. With the help of Deca, will defend it away, but Bango's still committed forward. And it's great play by AV, shutting them down, keeping SYF on that defense.
Yeah, both Bango and Snuff rotated only to the middle of the pitch, and they wanted to hold that pressure. Snuff always likes to fall back, and the fact he chose not to shows the confidence that's coming forward in this match.
Well, for Snuff, a change of pace definitely needed here in the league play of the OCE Championship. Requiem gets a demo on the back foot, but still that attack continues from AV, denying in the midfield. They're not letting the ball get through, but Deca finally able to punch through directly towards net. Vive angles it in the corner. It's up to Requiem now. But nothing happens. We've got a minute left remaining. Delusion now running out of boost. I feel like a broken record.
It's all about trying to get that demo life, hysterics.
But no more have come back out. Aggressive play still from SYF Gaming, but they feel like they've calmed down. 45 seconds, a touch not there from Vive, but Bango helps out. Deca around the midfield, he hangs with Requiem on the side. A miss by Requiem enables the push through from Avant Gaming. The corner, Delusion, not the best touch, off the wall. Staff comes back in. The mid-air demo will save the day.
Avant there went for the bump. The demo came out from the opposition, though. Hasn't freed them, with SYF still getting punished.
Oh, Snarf had the opportunity, but he misses. Hits the crossbar. 15 seconds left to go, Courier. Our first overtime of today, I don't know. 1 goal changes everything here with the clock counting down. And SYF Gaming in game 2, try to get it through that midfield, but denied again. The punch away. It's Vive to hit it all the way to that back corner. Pinch out, Requiem probably going to let this one land. Delusion can't do anything with it, and yes, it is overtime.
And now it's the opportunity for both teams to try pull themselves ahead. This match is pivotal in deciding if either of them can still make that top 4 finish or are relying on heavy tiebreakers.
AV, if they can get a 2-0 start, they'll be on match point and in the same position SYF Gaming were against order. Deca with the clear up. Time begins to tick. That infinite clock waiting for the nail in the coffin. 20 seconds off the wall. Bango now finding the angle, but the save from Requiem again will really just hold on to SYF.
Bango getting out positioned by both teams, getting stuck underneath the ball, but it hasn't cost them too much. They managed to maintain the pressure in SYF's half.
Requiem, the ball goes up again, the clear there, the pop-up, in comes Requiem, the dunk down. SYF on the attack, Delusion with the bouncer. Requiem leaves it, hits the crossbar, and Deca sends it home.
SYF take huge advantage of the double commit coming out of Avant, and then the consequential double flips that come out of Avant.
I was like, oh, Requiem's going to turn back around, but it was Deca in the end, and it was Delusion who sets the ball up nicely. 1 apiece, and SYF Gaming, now, that truly is a spicy meatball.
This is a little bit more what I was expecting to come out with SYF, taking the actual game, but it was significantly closer than I would have expected.
Yeah, no, I think at the moment, though, Courier, I will give you the opportunity to open the floor. Who would you like to talk about?
Who would I like? Ooh, this is...
You have 6 players.
I think we got to talk about Snarf. Whilst that game, it wasn't as big a showing as the previous one, the fact that he hasn't dropped off and it wasn't just a single showing of him being like, hey, I'm contributing a lot today. He's continuing to contribute, regardless of how much that is. I'm just happy with that.
I think in previous weeks, it was week 2 or 3, I looked at AV and I went, right, I know AV's roster. Wait, who's the 3rd player? That's when you know, and I know that sounds really harsh and I apologize, but that's when you know that the team's not working together. You cannot remember the final player because they're not making an impact. Snarf, with the change in play, with the improvement, I should say, that's why AV have been able to make this impact, I guess.
I think that's a large factor. And the fact they may not have won the game with SYF managing to take it off them does not change the fact that they're playing more cohesively as a team, and it doesn't feel like I'm watching the Bango and Vive show every time a play happens.
But let's move on to SYF, because Delusion is... I feel like I'm saying his name a lot more, right? Right.
Yeah, Delusion is interesting. Like, we've finally hit the stride where we have confirmed the way that he's playing within this team is completely different to the way that he was playing within Legacy. His role is no longer that incredible striker that just comes and decimates everyone and also has the passes. He's more integrated in more of a midfield position, I would say, but still is happy to run forward.
Well, we'll see if SYF Gaming can utilize Delusion. Well, they know we can. Requiem, look at the bump. In net. Delusion again.
Oh, that is absolutely brutal. You just see him running at him like a bullet.
He just hits Snarf away. Yes, it is brutal, Curry, but SYF Gaming with the first goal in Game 3. And again, we come back to SYF in their prime, and we think so.
With Deca now going up for the contest, SYF are getting that early advantage. And we saw every time that you give them that breathing room, they absolutely tear apart the defense. So we really need to see Avant not give them that and keep contesting, and that's how they kept the game close.
Well, they brought it all the way down this side of the field. The drop down from Bango is denied by Delusion again. Snarf will get the center, but the demo onto Deca means nothing. Vive was not there in time. Delusion able to punch the ball forward. It's Bango for the light touch. Deca in the midfield. The pass from Requiem. What a good one at that. It'll hit the crossbar. The 3rd player not there. They thought they'd nail it down with 2. A good attempt by SYF Gaming. I'll give them that.
It is surprising, though, the Delusion had rotated so heavily back, expressing it all the way, rather than get involved back with the play and coming with that 3rd touch.
Requiem not done just yet. Snarf, not ideal either. The pass great from Delusion. Oh, SYF.
That was an absolutely brutal infield. The way it just slid across the goal was going to destroy the Avant defense.
Is Delusion back in form? I want you to think about that question as we progress through this series career, because Delusion feels like he's back at the level we expected him to be, or at least close to, after the last OCE championship.
Well, my testing grounds for whether or not Delusion has hit that point is going to be more against your Tainted Minds and your Chiefs. I want to see the grindstone of the absolutely terrifying monsters of OCE, rather than whether or not you can beat out Avant.
I'm still going to ask that at the end of this series,
You're welcome to.
Thank you very much. Delusion, the pass down again, that's going towards net. And SYF just running away with this game.
Give them too much breathing room, and they're just going to absolutely destroy you. Vive, Snarf, they just don't have that defense when they're trying to contest you somewhere else on the pitch.
Delusion, Deca working together, the 2-man show, but Requiem has also had that consistent pace throughout. 3-0, the start for SYF in Game 3 is so different to what we saw AV bring to the show in Game 1.
We need to see Avant get more involved, come forward and actually take those challenges and not give them that breathing room. Because we saw the huge demos coming out of SYF, you can repeat that, Avant. You can come back and you can utilize that boost as well.
Avant at the moment in a tricky position and doesn't look like they can utilize their destructive power of their own. Vive receive the ball. It's up to SYF Gaming to keep it down the side of the field. Bango with the pass, it's just not connecting. Bango left with no boost to make something happen, but there's nothing. Vive comes through, and Avant just trying to push the ball in. Vive with a great setup for the pass, but Requiem again.
Yeah, Bango's pretty much out. Getting that replenish is incredibly important. Despite the fact they maintained control for so long inside of SYF's half, there was no opportunities, nothing close to a convincing shot.
Looks like the passes are good, but at the moment that's an open net. Yes, it is. So Avant.
It begs the question, where were SYF?
Off with the fairy somewhere, but Delusion, that was an intercepted pass. They all went up, Korea.
They were so far forward, though. We saw their 3rd player pass forward to potentially their 2nd, who was already past the halfway point on the pitch. That was a very, very deep rotation from SYF, especially when you didn't already have the pressure.
We're going to give props to Bango, but just hold on a second. He's found another one.
Great little pop.
2 goals for Bango within 15 seconds.
They are clawing this one back, and they are doing that quickly. They do not want to be in the grave.
You get props, Bango, for this one right here. You get props for the one before that I missed, which was the intercept, which was a great play by Bango. And individually, Bango's brought them to 2 goals to 3. 2 minutes 30, and Avant are right back in this game 3.
That's Bango's passive power. You essentially put him on a team, and you guarantee a certain number of soloing and wins just off the back of that.
So now does that confidence show in the rest of the team? Avant Gaming, no, it does not. Defense slips through again.
Your delusion question is looking pretty good.
I think at the moment, I'm starting to question where the hell this game's going to go. We've gone through about 20, 30 seconds and 3 goals.
Some serious ping pong is they just managed to trade back and forth. I think the very aggressive play styles that are coming out of both of them, or rather leaving the opportunities to be intercepted and then heavily punished.
Oh, the demo,
great
Korea.
demo.
Requiem comes in. And SYF just take it back around and say, no, we definitely are running away with this.
Well, they had huge success using those demos earlier in the match. Why not repeat that and just keep on getting all the profits from it?
I think at the moment, I'm still questioning what AV can do. This game doesn't feel like it's part of the same series.
No, it doesn't feel anywhere near as close. Relying on getting some huge intercepts to get you the goals is not going to be as effective when you're 3 behind. You have to take the match to them, because if they don't give you those opportunities, you're locked out.
SYF Gaming have definitely taken the padlock, thrown it in the bin. And AV stuck with the chains at the moment. Bango sets it up. The crossbar bounces down. 5, not in the right angle, but Bango trying to finish this ball. AV had an opportunity. It goes awry. The bump away by Bango is perfect. What can they do with it? 5 doesn't receive the ball. Oh, it's a massacre. And AV, it just goes down the drain. And now immediately Requiem almost finds one off the back of it.
Yeah, Bango opening up the goal. Delusions, great backboard defense holding them off. It should have been enough, but it seems like it's being turned right back round. Now SYF may have the chance for a goal.
A good setup there by Delusion, trying to anticipate the defense of Avant Gaming, turn it onto the attack, but a minute 15, 3 goals the difference. 5 needs to start breaking down barriers. Defense holds strong by SYF, and a minute left remaining with only Avant to ask what the hell happened.
Yeah, and Bango completely out of boost. It's going to be in an awkward spot with his rotation as they're pushed back deep within his defensive half.
Minute remaining, the setup there by SYF again. This game still feels competitive, this individual game.
But the clock is against them. They're 3 goals down with only 50 seconds.
That's right. Because of the quick plays, anything could happen. Bango setting up off the corner again. Going in for that aggression, but he's run out of boost. 5 to take the shot and Snarf down there, but he misses. The second touch needed. AV trying to finish it off again. Decker saves it away. If you're an AV fan, give them some love right now. It feels so unfortunate.
They need more than love. They need like cuddles as Decker takes another goal from them, locking them out of this game and putting them in the precarious position of needing 2 back-to-back games to survive.
That feels like the nail in the coffin for game number 3. SYF Gaming have done enough here. They'll move to 2-1, and Courier, on a more lighter note, SYF Gaming have brought this from game 1 to now their game to lose in what looks like going to be their game 4.
It's definitely going to be a game 4 with SYF running away with this. I love the use of demos. They get another goal. It was an... Oh, buddy.
I don't, at this point, Korea, I don't care.
No, it didn't really matter.
We're getting past that stage. So now SYF, they've taken the win against Order, 3-1. They look to be in the position to take the win against AV, which could be a 3-1. They're 1 step away from potentially making that top 4. Next week, SYF versus Justice. And Justice are looking good at the moment, but SYF, they're putting on a bit of a show.
And them coming up against Justice is an important match. Justice, I think most of us would favor for having that top 4 finish. So if you can go into the tournament already in a great position, with that win being a linchpin for your guaranteed spot, that's great. Even if they lose, they still have a fair chance of making it, depending how the tiebreakers fall.
Especially when Order took that loss against them. Order will be versing Legacy and Tainted Minds, which
terrible spot to be in.
Yeah, no, they could potentially be a Legacy anyway. It's a different day, different question. SYF, Justice Esports is a realistic matchup for them. AV, the way they're playing, if they can find a 3-1 here, would be such good news. I gotta say, to the organization of SYF Gaming, how happy would you be? You picked them up in, I think it was week 2 or week 3, and they've just pulled out numbers, they've pulled out wins, or at least they've put on a bit of a show, I should say, because, you know, against Legacy and Chiefs, wasn't the greatest, but they took a game from Chiefs.
Well, they're the only team to take a game from Chiefs.
There you go.
So in terms of that, that's something to shout home about.
That's a positivity. So SYF, I mean, the team itself, they feel like they're connecting together.
Yeah, they're starting to have that growth. They were a newer form team. Delusion was playing on a team last season.
They're not newer players.
Yeah, but they're not newer players.
Yeah, so
and I think that's a large factor of why they're still doing so well. They have played it in a league play before. There's none of the stress that comes with that. And when you are joking around, when you are being the chimpwits, there's less stress.
And now that you're an organization, you're not chimps anymore, you are apes. Hang on, they're still kind of monkeys, aren't they? You are gorillas, they're still monkeys. You are men. Or women, I don't know. SYF Gaming and Avant Gaming, we're going to walk away from that. It's game number 4, and SYF Gaming have 2 match points to play with once again. AV need to pull it in, because right now, they're on match point against them. They go up against Ground Zero next with this motivation.
And with SYF locked in their half, Avant still haven't managed to take any meaningful shots at goal. The defense from SYF has been too strong, and then as soon as it turns back around, SYF's aggressive attack has been much more successful.
Continues now, Korea around from the corner. Snarf, not with the greatest clear. Bango will help it out. He's got plenty of boost. The reset not going to matter too much there either. Bango comes in, sets up for Vive. Deckers with the clear, and a save as well.
The defense coming out of SYF is enough to hold back Avant, but it's going to be tried and tested by the time they go up against some of the scarier teams they may have to
Vive sets it up nicely for his teammate, but it goes wide again. Who was that? That was, I'm going to find out in a second. It wasn't Snarf, so it was Bango. AV setting it up nicely, though. So the attack continues in SYF Gaming. Not as much possession as game number 3. They come back and forth, but SYF Gaming staying on the defense. A miss by Bango. Snarf has to pass it back to Vive, but the second touch, the bump out of the way. Snarf there to recover.
This is their opportunity. One player down, they have control of the ball, and if they push fast whilst they have no boost, they could still make for the challenges, and they still could have had something happen.
What an intercept there. I did catch that one, ladies and gentlemen. That was Decker.
That was Avant's opportunity, but SYF just stole it from them. You see the play there. The intercept was ready. Vive didn't have an opportunity to get to the ball, and that should have been Avant trying to score it. And SYF turned it right back on its head.
Yeah, but it was SYF. It was their chance to score, and they took it. 1-0, 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in game number 4. And immediately the turn of events for Avant is not good. That one not towards net, but close. Snarf around the corner, he'll keep it to a standstill, but Requiem for the center, the pass back. Is it good? It's not, or maybe it is. The mind games from SYF.
And the patience as well. Each of their players waiting a little bit of time before coming in to engage and take the final shot.
In what world do you say, oh, he's going to go for the pass instead? SYF using the full 3-man roster. That's what friends are made of.
I love Decker's cut there. So quick to turn back around. There's only a brief moment where you just see, okay, yep, this is a play I can make, and quickly converts it into a goal.
This is the positivity we're giving towards SYF Gaming after taking down Order. At the moment, Avant Gaming, well, okay, that was close. Avant Gaming getting these attacks off, but no goal just yet.
Yeah, the defense from SYF just happens to be enough in time every time.
Some of these intercepts, though, Avant Gaming looking promising here. The pass from Vive, the dunk down is wide. Bango comes back in, but loses the ball. It's Snarf to recover. Decker, no boost, but Snarf comes close to getting it out of there. Requiem still back in, the clear away. It's Delusion who will have to defend, but he loses the ball too, and the counter-attack from Avant is a success.
They've finally found some pace, and using that, they managed to pull the goal forward, catching the SYF roster out in an awkward position after they so aggressively came forward for that 3-man play.
Well, 1-2 Korea. Avant Gaming, they've been able to hold on in parts of this series. But like in the last game, SYF Gaming, they breach, they clear. Might be a different game, but it's still very relevant. And out of the corner, Avant now have to do that same thing again against SYF Gaming. Meeting them in the midfield, denying the clear, but the demo's there onto Vive. They breach and, again, get that clear, but nothing comes of it.
Yeah, you really have to get a much larger clear. You can't lose possession there to your challengers in 50-50s, because when you've relied on counterattacks to get most of your goals, and then that happens, and they steal another one and take that lead, SYF get more and more ground ahead.
Vive bounces it down, but no one in the net. Unfortunate for Avant, but SYF, again, a 2-goal lead sits in their back pocket.
And they're looking like they're going to be a top 4 contender. With the previous win, with this win, they're in an amazing spot. But for Avant, they're almost certainly out. if they cannot win the next match.
It feels like we're going to have a brand new team in our top 4 for this OCE championship. And to me, that's so exciting because we have never before seen the likes of these teams mixed together. The OCE shuffle is what we've been talking about this season. Every single team is different by one member or another. And AV with this new roster, this show of talent, are struggling against SYF, another show of talent here, who just took down Order and are looking to do the same again against AV.
And the beautiful part for me is SYF, you have Delusion, who got taken out of that Legacy roster, and now is a real contender for knocking Legacy out of being in that top 4
Can they do any more, Deca? Oh, the setup, beautiful for Requiem. Unfortunate, no goal there, but you can see the creativity from SYF Gaming cannot be understated. Korea, there's a goal coming through from AV. And that's Bango with the setup and a great pass.
They're down, but they're not out. That goal was pivotal. And with 58 seconds left on the clock, they can equalize and go for that overtime finish. With some strong showings, there's still signs of life.
Okay, 1 goal, 1 minute remaining. And we're just singing the praises of SYF Gaming, but AV still want to stay in this series. Take it to a game 5. Requiem off the wall. SYF have an opportunity to shut this down. It's Delusion without boost off the backboard. Requiem pops it up. It's Deca with the dunk down, but everyone misses. AV, is it to their advantage? Bango seems to think so with the clear, but he misses the second touch. It's Vive on the defense.
Yeah, Delusion had a full tank and was all the way back and ready. There was no way he wasn't going to be able to get a good touch, clear, and then convert that into SYF potential.
Deca just got handed that ball. Delusion needs to save this ball away, and he will with the savior medal. Bango comes back in. It's going to the midfield, right in the center field. Requiem uses that momentum. He goes wide. But you can see SYF put pedal to the metal. Sitting on the motorbike, doing well. Another wide shot, 10 seconds remaining. SYF staying around this Avant Gaming side. There's an opportunity to create yet another upset. Just send yourself up for the top 4. SYF on the defense. 1 goal needed by AV. SYF keeping it down here, but AV can't do anything, and they find another 3-1.
What a characteristic way to run the clock for SYF. It's not about playing defensively or sitting in the midfield to stop any potential. It's about having all 3 men aggressively push into Avant's half and hold them there for the remaining 30.
And the unfortunate thing is that with that, Avant Gaming find themselves on 4 losses and are most likely out of the OCE Championship just purely off SYF's explosive run so far. Order first, now Avant Gaming.
On a roll. If they get 3 in a row, they make it into the top 4. They played really well that series, except for the start.
Well, we don't talk about that apparently.
And I was talking about Snarf and Bango and how I wanted them to step up, and they really did. They were connecting with each other really well, but they still try to go for such wide, slower passes, and they were getting intercepted way too much.
And when you're going up against SYF, if they were just watching the previous match against Order, they should have known that this was going to be coming through, right?
And you guys were talking about Delusion, but Deca was involved in 11 out of the 13 goals. He was so aggressive. We saw Requiem stay really far back and let both of his teammates do a lot more. He was incredible, and there were 2 goals from Deca where he just intercepted a pass into an open net, which really helped turn around the series. It sort of turned a goal for Avant into a goal for SYF.
Was it the adaptation here of SYF Gaming? Because when they're going up against Order, they looked very different as to when they're going up against Avant Gaming.
They had a lot more time in this series, and I think they used it wisely. I really see when they're in defense, they were waiting and then getting that touch across. And I think AV were just signaling what they were doing a little bit too much. You knew that they were going to go for their pass. And considering AV, even though they have Ground Zero next, they have Chiefs next week. I think that they're 100% out, where the SYF is in a very good spot.
I think after taking down Order, you said that SYF Gaming, going up against Justice next week, Justice would be looking at that. I mean, they've got 2 games of their own today, but Justice would be looking at that saying, right, this is a real contender.
It's a real contender. I think there's a big weakness there for SYF still. A lot of their goals were off their backboard. They'd sometimes have 3 people down on the ground. And Avant actually had a solid backboard defense in that they were able to get really good angles. But against Justice, that would be rough if you're getting hit on the backboard. They love the backboard.
Absolutely. Courier, are you excited for the next series?
I am very excited.
You should be, because I think for Avant, we're not going to count them out just yet. I know realistically 4 losses, but they have to start a monster run against Ground Zero. That's coming up next. Let's see if they can at least get some wins on the board. 3-minute break coming.